Hello English learners and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica. How are you today, Marco?
I'm doing great, Erica. And today we have a really practical topic. We're going to learn how to make phone calls in English.
Yes. You'll learn how to book a taxi, make an appointment with a doctor, book a table at a restaurant, and call a friend.
We'll learn useful phrases like, is that the restaurant? Could I book a taxi, please? And, sorry, can you say that again?
Phone calls can be scary in another language, but after this podcast, you'll feel much more confident.
Alright, let's listen to the dialogue. Today it's a bit different. We'll make 4 short phone calls. It's going to be a bit fast.
But don't worry, in about 15 minutes you'll understand everything.
Let's listen.
Hello, New Street Surgery. Maddie speaking.
Hi, this is Will Thompson. Can I make an appointment with Dr. Bell, please?
Of course. How about Thursday at 4:15?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say that again?
Thursday the 12th, at 4:15.
Is that the 12th? Perfect. Thanks very much for your help. See you on Thursday. Goodbye.
Hello, the Blue Hat Restaurant. How can I help you?
Hello, is that the Blue Hat Restaurant?
Yes, it is.
Hi, it's Will Thompson. Could I book a table for 2, please? For Friday evening at 8 o'clock.
Of course. Would you like the table near the window?
Sorry, do you mean the table near the window? Yes, that sounds perfect.
Great. See you on Friday.
Thanks for your help. Bye.
Hello?
Lizzie, it's Will.
Oh, hi Will. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Listen, I booked a table at the Blue Hat for Friday at 8. Can you come?
Sorry, the line is bad. Can you say that again?
Friday at 8, the Blue Hat Restaurant.
Perfect. See you on Friday.
Great. See you soon. Bye.
Hello, Smith's Taxis.
Hi, is that Smith's Taxis?
Yes, it is.
Could I book a taxi, please? From the Forest Hotel to the airport.
What time do you want the taxi?
At 2 o'clock this afternoon, please.
Okay, and what's your name?
It's Will Thompson.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Will Thompson. Thompson.
Thanks. The taxi will be there at 2 o'clock.
Thanks very much for your help. Bye.
Wow, Will had a busy day on the phone.
Yeah, 4 different phone calls, doctor, restaurant, friend, taxi. And did you notice how polite he was? Can I? Thanks very much for your help.
And when he didn't understand something, he used really useful phrases like, sorry, can you say that again? And, do you mean the table near the window?
So important. Let's look at some really useful words and phrases from those phone calls. Our first word is appointment.
Appointment. Appointment. Appointment.
Appointment.
An appointment is a specific time arranged to meet someone, usually a doctor, a dentist, or a professional.
Exactly. Let's hear some examples.
Can I make an appointment with Dr. Bell, please? I have an appointment at the dentist on Thursday. Could I book an appointment for next week?
So remember, appointment, a time arranged to meet someone, usually a doctor. Next, book.
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 Here, book is a verb. It means to reserve something in advance. You can book a table, book a taxi, book a room.
Let's hear some examples.
Could I book a taxi, please? We booked a table at the restaurant for Friday evening. You should book early, it's very popular.
So remember, book, reserve in advance. Next word. This one can be confusing. Surgery.
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 In British English, a surgery is the place where you go to see a doctor or a dentist, like a medical office.
Yes, it's not always a hospital operation. Doctor's surgery just means doctor's office.
Hello, New Street Surgery. Maddie speaking. I need to go to the surgery this afternoon. The surgery opens at 9 o'clock.
So remember, surgery, a doctor's or dentist's office. Now a very useful phone phrase, speaking.
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 When you answer the phone at work, you say your name plus, speaking. This is a very common phone phrase.
Let's hear some examples.
Hello, New Street Surgery. Maddie speaking. Good morning, Smith's Taxis. John speaking. How can I help? Hello, this is Sarah Jones speaking.
So remember, speaking, used when you answer the phone. Now one of the most useful phone phrases, is that.
Is that.
Is that.
Is that.
Is that.
We use is that to check we called the right place. Not, are you? On the phone, we always say, is that.
This is really important. Let's hear some examples.
Hello, is that the Blue Hat Restaurant? Hi, is that Smith's Taxis? Is that the dentist's surgery?
So remember, is that. Checking you called the right place. And the answer, it's or this is.
It's Will.
This is Will.
It's Will.
This is Will.
On the phone, you don't say, I am Will. You say, it's Will, or, this is Will. This is really important.
Let's hear some examples.
Hi, it's Will Thompson. Lizzie, it's Will. Hello, this is Sarah from the office.
So remember on the phone, it's or this is, not, I am. Now two very polite phone phrases, can I, and could I.
Can I?
Could I?
Can I?
Could I?
Can I is polite. Could I is even more polite. Both are great on the phone to ask for something.
Let's hear some examples.
Can I make an appointment with Dr. Bell? Could I book a taxi, please? Could I book a table for two, please?
So remember, can I, and could I, polite requests. Add, please, for extra politeness. Now a lifesaver phrase, sorry, I didn't hear that.
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 When the line is bad or you didn't catch the information, use this phrase. It's much better than just saying, what?
Let's hear some examples.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say it again? Sorry, I didn't hear that. The line is bad. Sorry, I didn't hear the street name.
So remember, sorry, I didn't hear that, polite way to ask for repetition. And a similar phrase, sorry, can you say that again?
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 Notice, we say that again, not, say that more. Again, is the correct word here.
Great point. Let's hear some examples.
Sorry, can you say that again? The line is bad. Sorry, can you say that again, please? Sorry, can you say the name again?
So remember, sorry, can you say that again? Next, do you mean?
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 We use, do you mean, to check that we understood correctly. Very useful on the phone.
Let's hear some examples.
Do you mean the table near the window? Do you mean Thursday the 12th? Do you mean 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
So remember, do you mean? Checking you understood. Now let's look at how to put these words together.
In the dialogue we heard, make an appointment with Dr. Bell.
The pattern is make an appointment with plus the person, not make an appointment to, or make an appointment for the doctor. It's always with.
Can I make an appointment with Dr. Bell? I need to make an appointment with the dentist. Could I make an appointment with the manager for tomorrow?
We also heard, book a taxi, book a table, book an appointment. The pattern is book a plus the noun.
You can book so many things. A taxi, a table, a room, an appointment, a tour, a flight.
Could I book a taxi, please? I'd like to book a table for 2 at 8 o'clock. We booked a room at a nice hotel in the center.
When you book a taxi, you need to say where from and where to. The pattern is book a taxi from plus place plus to plus place.
Can I book a taxi from the Forest Hotel to the airport? I need a taxi from the station to the city center. Could I book a taxi from my home to the airport, please?
We also heard, how about 3 o'clock?
How about is a great way to suggest a time. Simple and natural.
How about Thursday at 4:15? How about 2 o'clock this afternoon? How about Friday evening?
Now a quick pronunciation tip. Question intonation.
For yes, no questions, your voice goes up at the end. Is that the 12th? Up.
For WH questions, what, where, when, your voice goes down at the end. Where do you want to go? Down.
Is that the 12th? Could I book a taxi, please? What time do you want the taxi? Where do you want to go?
And one more important grammar point. Some verbs take to plus verb, and some take verb plus ain.
Want, need, ask, these all take to plus verb. Want to book, need to make, ask to see.
I want to book a table for Friday. I need to make an appointment with the dentist.
But, like, takes verb plus ain. Like traveling, like calling, like booking.
I like booking my tickets online. She likes making phone calls in English.
All right, let's listen to the phone calls again, but this time a little slower.
Hello, New Street Surgery. Maddie speaking.
Hi, this is Will Thompson. Can I make an appointment with Dr. Bell, please?
Of course. How about Thursday at 4:15?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say that again?
Thursday the 12th, at 4:15.
Is that the 12th? Perfect. Thanks very much for your help. See you on Thursday. Goodbye.
Hello, the Blue Hat Restaurant. How can I help you?
Hello, is that the Blue Hat Restaurant?
Yes, it is.
Hi, it's Will Thompson. Could I book a table for 2, please? For Friday evening at 8 o'clock.
Of course. Would you like the table near the window?
Sorry, do you mean the table near the window? Yes, that sounds perfect.
Great. See you on Friday.
Thanks for your help. Bye.
Hello?
Lizzie, it's Will.
Oh, hi Will. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Listen, I booked a table at the Blue Hat for Friday at 8. Can you come?
Sorry, the line is bad. Can you say that again?
Friday, at 8, the Blue Hat Restaurant.
Perfect. See you on Friday.
Great. See you soon. Bye.
Hello, Smith's Taxis.
Hi, is that Smith's Taxis?
Yes, it is.
Could I book a taxi, please? From the Forest Hotel to the airport.
What time do you want the taxi?
at 2 o'clock this afternoon, please.
Okay. And what's your name?
It's Will Thompson.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Will Thompson. Thompson.
Thanks. The taxi will be there at 2 o'clock.
Thanks very much for your help. Bye.
Now it's time for Fluency Builder.
We're going to help you sound more natural on the phone.
Our first phone phrase. Hello, New Street Surgery. Maddie speaking.
This is the standard way to answer a business phone in English.
Some students say, hello, this is Maddie from New Street Surgery. That's correct, but speaking is much more natural and professional.
Hello, the Blue Hat Restaurant. Sarah speaking.
You can also say, good morning, Smith's Taxis. How can I help you?
Next. Hello, is that the Blue Hat Restaurant?
Remember, on the phone, we say, is that, not, are you? Many students make this mistake.
Some students say, is this the restaurant? That's okay in American English, but in British English we say, is that the restaurant?
Hello, is that Smith's Taxis?
You can also use it with names. Is that Sarah, when someone answers the phone?
Next. Hi, it's Will. Or this is Will.
On the phone, we never say, I am Will. It sounds strange. We say, it's Will, or, this is Will.
Some students translate directly from their language. I am Ole. But on the phone in English, always use, it's, or, this is.
Lizzie, it's Will.
For businesses, this is, sounds more formal. Hello, this is Sarah Jones from the sales department.
Next. Could I book a taxi, please?
This is the most polite way to ask for something on the phone. Much better than just, I want a taxi.
Some students say, I need to book a taxi. That's fine, but could I book a taxi, please? Sounds much more polite in English.
Could I book a table for two, please?
Always add, please, at the end. It makes a big difference.
A very useful one. Sorry, can you say that again?
Phone lines can be bad. People speak fast, don't panic. Just use this phrase.
Some students say, what, or, repeat, please. But these can sound rude. Sorry, can you say that again? Is polite and natural.
Sorry, can you say that again? The line is bad.
You can also say, sorry, I didn't hear that, or, sorry, could you repeat that, please?
And finally, to end a call. Thanks very much for your help. See you soon.
This is such a friendly way to end a phone call.
Some students just say, bye, and hang up. That's okay, but adding, thanks for your help, sounds much more polite.
Thanks very much for your help. See you on Thursday. Goodbye.
You can also say, thanks for your time. Or, have a nice day.
You know, Erica, this topic reminds me of the first time I made a phone call in English.
Oh really? Tell me about it.
Well, I was in London and I needed to make an appointment with a dentist. I was so nervous. I practiced the phrases before I called. Could I make an appointment, please? Is that the dentist's surgery?
And how did it go?
The first time, the receptionist spoke so fast. I said, sorry, can you say that again? About 3 times? But you know what? She was really nice and she slowed down. I booked my appointment and I felt so proud.
That's great. For me, the scariest phone call was when I needed to book a taxi to the airport early in the morning. I kept thinking, what if they don't understand me?
How did you do it?
I used very simple phrases. Could I book a taxi, please? From my hotel to the airport. At 5 o'clock in the morning. Short and clear. And when they asked my name, I spelled it. Like Will did. Sarah. Sarah.
Spelling your name is such a good tip. Many names sound similar on the phone.
Yes. And here's a tip for our listeners. Write down what you want to say before you call. Practice the phrases. Don't be afraid to say, sorry, can you say that again? Everyone does it, even native speakers.
Great advice. So listeners, think about, when was the last time you made a phone call in English? Or when will you need to? Try to use today's phrases. Alright, let's listen to the phone calls one more time. This time, see how much you understand.
Hello, New Street Surgery. Maddie speaking.
Hi, this is Will Thompson. Can I make an appointment with Dr. Bell, please?
Of course. How about Thursday at 4:15?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say that again?
Thursday the 12th, at 4:15.
Is that the 12th? Perfect. Thanks very much for your help. See you on Thursday. Goodbye.
Hello, the Blue Hat Restaurant. How can I help you?
Hello, is that the Blue Hat Restaurant?
Yes, it is.
Hi, it's Will Thompson. Could I book a table for two, please? For Friday evening at 8 o'clock.
Of course. Would you like the table near the window?
Sorry, do you mean the table near the window? Yes, that sounds perfect.
Great. See you on Friday.
Thanks for your help. Bye.
Hello?
Lizzie, it's Will.
Oh, hi Will. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Listen, I booked a table at the Blue Hat for Friday at 8. Can you come?
Sorry, the line is bad. Can you say that again?
Friday at 8, the Blue Hat Restaurant.
Perfect. See you on Friday.
Great. See you soon. Bye.
Hello, Smith's Taxis.
Hi, is that Smith's Taxis?
Yes, it is.
Could I book a taxi, please? From the Forest Hotel to the airport.
What time do you want the taxi?
At 2 o'clock this afternoon, please.
Okay, and what's your name?
It's Will Thompson.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Will Thompson. Thompson.
Thanks. The taxi will be there at 2 o'clock.
Thanks very much for your help. Bye.
Great job everyone. You learned so much today.
Remember to practice these phone phrases. Next time you need to book something, try doing it in English.
Now it's time for the audio review.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the word or phrase. A time arranged to meet someone, usually a doctor. Appointment. To reserve in advance. Book. A doctor's or dentist's office in British English. Surgery. A doctor for your teeth. Dentist. What you book for a meal at a restaurant. Table. Word used after your name when you answer the phone at work. Speaking. Phrase to check you called the right place on the phone. Is that? Phrase used to say your name on the phone. It's. Polite way to ask for something. Can I? More polite way to ask for something. Could I? Polite phrase to end a phone call. Thanks for your help. Phrase to use when the line is bad. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Polite way to ask someone to repeat information. Sorry, can you say that again? Phrase to check that you understood correctly. Do you mean? Friendly way to end a call when you will meet again. See you soon. Now say the phrase and hear it in a sentence. Appointment.
Can I make an appointment with Dr. Bell, please?
Book.
Could I book a taxi, please?
Surgery.
Hello, New Street Surgery. Maddie speaking.
Dentist.
I need to make an appointment with the dentist.
Table.
Could I book a table for two, please?
Speaking.
Hello, the Blue Hat Restaurant. Sarah speaking.
Is that?
Hello, is that the Blue Hat restaurant?
It's.
Hi, it's Will Thompson.
Can I?
Can I make an appointment with Dr. Bell?
Could I?
Could I book a taxi, please?
Thanks for your help.
Thanks very much for your help. Goodbye.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say it again?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Sorry, can you say that again? The line is bad.
Do you mean?
Do you mean the table near the window?
See you soon.
Great. See you soon. Bye.
That's all for today. Thanks for listening to English Pod.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye everyone.